Hello students, today we are starting with our next topic of 8th standard and the name of the topic is exponents and power. So in this topic we will be looking at what is an base, what is an exponent, then what is an expanded form of a number in an exponential way, then what is the standard form of a number, whereas we will be also looking at various laws of exponent. So before proceeding to this every concepts which we will be learning in this topic, let us see why we need an exponents in our mathematics. Suppose I want to write a number which is consisting of 8 zeros, right? Or I want to write a number which is very small. When I try to write this number, fair enough, I could write those number, but when I try to read this number, it becomes a very tedious job. Yes. So for representing such type of numbers, a very large number or very small number, we make use of the exponents or the exponential form. So the same number, if I try to write it in an exponential form, it will be 1 into 10 raised to 8. Similarly, this number, if I try to write in an exponential form, it will be 1 into 10 raised to again 8, but here it will be minus 8. Okay, so how here it is a plus 8 and how here it is a minus 8, so that we will be looking at in our next section. But the important thing to be remembered here is for representing any big number or any small number, it is very easy to represent it in an exponential form, and also it is very easy to read it in an exponential form. Also, for comparing very big or very small numbers, we can make use of this exponential form. So let us go about looking at what are these exponents and what are the base and everything for this number. Suppose I have to add 2 4 times. How do I write it? Yes, 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 4 times. So instead of writing it like this, can I write it in this way? 2 into 4. Why? Because 2 is being added 4 times to itself, and hence I can write it as 2 into 4. Similarly, now instead of addition, I am writing multiplication between those numbers. The same number is being multiplied to itself. Yes, as the same number when added to itself can be written it in this simplified form. Similarly, when a same number is being multiplied to itself, this can also be written in a simplified form in the terms of 2 raised to 4. Now why 2 raised to 4? Let us look about. Now I am multiplying the number 2 with itself. The same number is being multiplied with itself. So whenever you are writing a number in an exponential form, it is needed that the number has to be multiplied with itself. Yes. So whenever a number is being multiplied with itself, that number only can be written in an exponential form. If you write it like this, 2 into 3 into 4, and try to write it in exponential form, you cannot write this because here each number being multiplied is a different one. Okay, so the condition says only the number which is multiplied by itself can be written in an exponential form. Now the next thing, what is the way of writing this? The number which is being multiplied with itself comes to the bottom, and this is called as base of the number. The number which you are multiplying with itself comes at the bottom, called as base, whereas the number which you write at the top is equal to the number of times the number is being multiplied to itself. Now this 2 is being multiplied to itself how many times? 4 times, right? Hence, at the index, I have written it as 4. So this is also called as index or power. Okay, so this is the convention of writing a number in an exponential form. Let us take one more example. Suppose I write -5 into -5 into -5. Okay, how can we write it in exponential form? The number which is being multiplied comes at the base. So -5 at the base, and the number of times the number is multiplied comes at the top, called as index. So this become your base and this becomes your index. Okay, so I hope you understood how to represent any number in an exponential form. First condition, the number should be multiplied with itself, meaning the same number has to be multiplied n number of times, whereas the number of times the number being multiplied comes at the top. From this, we can write a general way of writing an exponential form. Suppose a is the number which is being multiplied with itself n times. So how can you write in an exponential form? I can write a raised to n. Why a? Because a is being multiplied with itself, and why n? Because it has been multiplied n times. Okay, so this becomes the standard form of writing in any exponential number. Now, as you can see, I have here taken a positive number, whereas here I have taken a negative number. So from this I can say we can represent positive numbers also in an exponential form, whereas we can represent a negative number also in an exponential form. Can we represent any rational number in an exponential form? Yes. Let us see. Suppose I am taking the rational number 3/4 and it is being multiplied with itself 3 times. So the condition for writing any number in an exponential form is the number has to be multiplied with itself. So definitely now this complete number is my A. Yes, so condition 3/4 is being multiplied with itself. So definitely I can write it in exponential form. So here now what will be my base? My base will be my this complete number 3/4. And the number of times it's being multiplied will come at the top. And how do we read this? 2 raised to 4 or 2 to the power 4. Okay, so there are 2-3 ways of reading any exponential number. So for example, 2 raised to 4, I have to read. How I will read? 2 raised to 4 or 2 to the power 4. Okay, 2 to the power 4 means at the power place 4 is present and 2 is present at the base. Similarly, if I have to read this number, so it will be 3/4 raised to 3. Okay, so this is the way of reading any exponential number. Now, as I have seen in our previous example, -5 into -5 into -5 written 3 times, what is the answer? The answer is -125. Yes, and if I write in an exponential form, it will be -5 raised to 3. What if I multiply -5 to itself 4 times instead of 3? Suppose I am taking it as 4 times. So what will be the multiplication? 5 5 is 25, 125, 625. Now this 625, whether it will be plus or minus, it will be plus. Why? Because minus into minus plus, minus into minus plus, and plus into plus is plus. Now you have already seen this, that if the power of a negative number, if the power of a negative number is odd, what will be the answer? Negative number, the power is odd, 3 is an odd number. What is the answer? Whether it is positive or negative, it is always a negative number. Whereas if a negative number is having the power even, negative number having the power even, what is the answer? Positive or negative? it is always positive. Okay, so this is the rule you have to learn. The if the power of a negative number is odd, the answer will always be negative. If the power of the negative number is even, the answer will always be positive. Okay, so we have seen what is an exponent, what is a base, what is the index. Also we can write positive numbers also in an exponential form, negative numbers also in an exponential form. Also a rational number could be written in an exponential form. Whereas what will be the sign of the final answer if the power of the negative number is odd or even? So that's what we have seen. Now let us look at some few examples on this.